Hi, I'm Dave from Boy in a Band, and welcome to day 5 of the 7-day studio, where I've been explaining how to set up a beginner studio with my convenient co-host Kieran.
Hi there.
Hi.
Alright.
Yesterday we looked at capturing audio, but today we're looking at MIDI devices, which allow you to capture MIDI, which is the way software thinks of programmed musical notes. So when you see a sequence like this, in some software, chances are it's MIDI. One thing to keep in mind before we get started is that MIDI itself doesn't make a sound. MIDI just tells synthesizers or samplers which notes to play. MIDI itself is silent.
Like the ninja.
You can input MIDI with a mouse and keyboard, but there isn't much musicality in it, and it can take a long time. That's why MIDI devices exist, to make it easier to input sound. And since there are so many types of sounds and ways to adjust your music, there are loads of different types of MIDI devices as well. From the convenient and conventional, such as keyboards and mixers, to the crazy and expensive, such as the MIDI gun and whole bodysuits to control your sounds. Some of these are obviously geared more towards live performance, unless you want to impress your clientele by shooting a melody in front of your computer, so we're going to stick with the more conventional and cheaper ones. Some MIDI devices make things like mixing much more hands-on as well, with faders, buttons and knobs allowing you to bring the mixing process into the real world as well as the writing process. Again, this can mean things are much faster than mixing with a mouse. Another popular type of device is playable pads. These are great for percussion since you don't have to be quite as accurate as when you're using keys on a keyboard, but it's all personal preference though. So Kieran, what instruments can you play?
I play the guitar, a bit of piano and a kazoo.
Really?
That was pretty good actually.
Yeah.
I was quite proud of that one.
Well, I'm not really sure about the progress on people developing MIDI kazoos, and while there are MIDI guitars out there, they're not as easy and cheap as MIDI keyboards. So let's go straight for one of them. After looking about, I chose a cheap one I would trust, the M-Audio Oxygen 49. M-Audio are known for making good MIDI devices, like long-haired rappers are known for being cool dudes indeed. Some other brands I recommend are Evolution, Akai, Novation and Roundtrees, mainly for their fruit pastels though. You really don't need something expensive to begin writing music in your studio. However, if you're thinking about going live with your performance, then something like this Novation SL Mark II might be your kind of thing, since it has touch-sensitive pads, tons of controls, and quickly syncs with software. And most importantly, it has lots of flashy lights. So back to the M-Audio. It is kind of cheap looking, but my assumption is that Kieran won't be thrashing it about violently. He's gentle, aren't you, Kieran? I sure do. Aww. Let's see what we have here. If you want to drop the pads and faders for the budget, try the M-Audio Keyrig 49. There are smaller MIDI devices with fewer octaves on them, but I'd only recommend them if you're sticking with simplistic dance music. Things like piano can be awkward to do if you only have 1 or 2 octaves to play with. I don't mind it personally, but I know a lot of people that do. Kinda like charting pop music. So how are we faring with the budget there, Kieran?
I'm glad you asked. With the M-Audio Oxygen 49 at £117, that brings us to £480.
And our super budget?
With the Keyrig 49 at £79, that brings us to £303.
Oh, 303. As some of you will know, that number has a lot of history in electronic music production.
I've heard that song I did. It's catchy.
Never mind. So that's all the stuff we'll use for putting things into our songs sorted. Tomorrow in day 6, we'll move on to getting audio out of your device with speakers and headphones. Like if you liked it. Cheers for watching, and have a nice day.